unlikely ruler becomes an unwitting pawn. Within this imperial residence, a fateful deception plays out. Archduke Ferdinand Maximilian is a kind and intelligent royal who dreams of ruling a nation. But as the younger brother of the Austrian emperor, his coronation seems unlikely.
Everything went to the firstborn. But Maximilian wants to accomplish something bigger, greater with his life.
One day, he finally gets his chance. Maximilian is approached by one of his allies, the Emperor of France, Napoleon III. Napoleon's army has just conquered a new region, Mexico. And because Maximilian's ancestors once ruled Mexico, Napoleon now needs the royals' help.
Napoleon says, Maximilian, I want you to be the Emperor of Mexico.
The Archduke is enticed by the proposal, but he's concerned his leadership won't be accepted.
Maximilian was a little bit skeptical. He's Austrian. He was an outsider, and he had never been to Mexico.
So he tells Napoleon he will only accept under one condition. The people of Mexico must vote and approve his appointment. Napoleon agrees and orders a poll to be taken throughout the country. Shortly thereafter, Maximilian receives good news.
Napoleon III tells him that the people of Mexico, by popular vote, had actually elected him as the ruler.
With his fears quelled, he officially accepts the position. In June of 1864, Maximilian is crowned Emperor of Mexico and takes up residence at Chapultepec Castle. Then, determined to be an effective leader, he learns Spanish and dives into local issues. He abolishes child labor, calls for religious freedom, and becomes a champion of the poor.
He institutes a whole range of reforms that were revolutionary for their time.
But instead of earning praise from his new subjects, Maximilian is harshly criticized.
Although these reforms seem positive, people did not like them one bit.
And over time, the backlash only intensifies.
There are armies being raised to take Maximilian out of power. People think that this foreigner who's ruling their country, he has to go.
Dumbfounded, Maximilian wonders where he went wrong. But he'll soon discover the circumstances of his appointment weren't as they seemed.
Napoleon III had tricked him into coming to Mexico.
Napoleon had been desperate to get one of his allies on the throne and keep a foothold in the region. So he ordered his troops to ensure the public voted for Maximilian by whatever means necessary.
Although he was told he was elected by the Mexican people, that was a total lie.
Maximilian is distraught at the ruse, but the young emperor is fiercely loyal and believes he can still win over his people. So instead of running from the growing revolt, he stays put.
He gathers the few friends and supporters he has, and he digs in deeper, and he stays at the castle.
But as the discontent reaches a fever pitch, Maximilian's alleged ally, Napoleon, decides Mexico is no longer worth the trouble.
Instead of sending in reinforcements, France withdraws its troops, leaving Maximilian high and dry.
Within just a few short months, rebel forces seize control of Mexico City and capture Maximilian. The emperor is court-martialed and sentenced to death.
World leaders plead for Maximilian's life, but the newly established Mexican government is not swaying. He must die.
On June 19, 1867, only 3 years after his rule began, Maximilian is executed by a firing squad.
His last words were, "Viva Mexico."